Alright, welcome back. This is going to be the first lab that we will solve, and the first lab is basically OS command injection simple lab. So let's go to the Google and type OS command injection port swagger. So here we have a lab, an entire page about OS command injection. You can just read it. I have already teach you the theory. I don't think so you need it, but still you can read it. It is very useful material, to be honest. And don't worry, I'm gonna provide you the link. You must have an account on Podswagger. You already know, and you must have to be logged in order to utilize those labs. So just click on view all labs of OS command injection. It will be open in a new tab, and this is going to be the first lab that we are going to solve, basically OS command injection simple case. This is going to be a simple case. We are going to inject an OS command injection vulnerability exploit. We need to exploit it. Let's read the description. So basically this lab contains an OS command injection vulnerability in the product stock checker. The application execute a shell command containing users supplied product and store ID, and returns the raw output from the command in its response. So basically what we will need to do there is user supplied product id and store id, which returns some raw output, and we need to exploit that particular uh, you know uh, product id or store id because the vulnerability exists there. To solve the lab, execute the whoami command to determine the name of the current user. We need to find out the name of the current user. This is going to be our ultimate goal. So let's click on access the lab. Okay, it's gonna take few seconds, give it some time. So you can clearly see this is going to be the lab, and it contains some of the product. When you click on any product and scroll a bit, you can clearly see here we have a check stock feature where you can look for the different cities like London, Paris, and the third one Milan. So let's go with the second one. What kind of value it is returning me? You can clearly see it is just letting me know that hey, you have 22 units left. So definitely it is grabbing something from the server. Okay, so what I need to do, the first thing I will need to do is to copy the URL of my target. Go to the bar, target, scope, add, and just paste it and click OK. What is this? Just remove it. It is not for me. So I have added it successfully. In the sitemap you will not be able to see the target, so that's why you need to refresh. And now you can clearly see I have a target. That's pretty cool. And the next thing I need to do is to just visit any particular you can say product. You can just change it to anyone. It doesn't matter at all. You can go with anyone. No, here is the thing. This check stock feature is vulnerable, and I am going to exploit this. To do this, I need to capture this request, and to capture this request, let me teach you some professional things. Just open the just open the yeah just open in your browser on the left side, and just open your burp suite on the right side. So yeah, it seems like everything is very professional, and we are good to go now. You just need to go to the proxy, and in the proxy tab we have an interceptor, okay, where we can literally intercept any request, capture any request. And when I will click the stock check feature, meanwhile I will intercept this request before going to the server. I will capture the request. So that's why I need to turn on my interceptor and click check stock. And you can see when I click check stock feature, I have intercepted this request. That is the basically body of the particular request, and you can clearly see it contains some headers like cookie, user agent, accept, languages, referral, blah blah blah, so many things. But at the end you can clearly see we have two parameters, the product id equal to 4 and the store id equal to 1. So definitely it is fetching some sort of data from the server. I need to test this request, this particular request. for different vulnerabilities for OS command injection. So that's why I will need to send this request to the repeater. Just right click on this request and send this to the repeater. Now you can turn off your interceptor. Just turn off your interceptor and go to the repeater tab. This is the request that I have sent to the repeater right now, and you can literally clearly see the request. This is how it looks like. If you send the request to the server, you can clearly see it is literally giving me 88 result, which means that the current CT have 88 units left. So I will manipulate here a store ID or a product ID in order to grab what I really want. So let's open notes. This notes is uh 1 second please. So I will open my leaf pad, my favorite one. Just type leaf pad. This notes is seems like good for us. um let's go to the font to make it a little bit bigger. uh, Bold. Yeah, seems like it is cool. It is no good. So I will create a command for this in order to verify that is it vulnerable or not. That's why I need to first use meta character, which is basically we basically call it a pipe. Okay, we call it pipe, and it is above the space. So you can just hold the shift and press the that button above the space and below the backspace. So after this you just need to type who am I. This is the command I want to execute on the server. Why? Because I want to know the current user. So I will copy the command, and here I will remove the store ID, which is one, and paste my command. Okay, and click send. And literally you can clearly see that it gives me the current username, which is basically Peter, and some other entity, which means that this particular location is vulnerable. With OS command injection, I am able to execute the commands. I'm able to execute any kind of command on the server. It doesn't matter at all. So if I type if config, you can clearly see basically they have just removed the file, but still it is working. So if you type uname hyphen a, you can clearly see it is a Linux based machine, which have this username and this the current version. So it is using GNU Linux, each and everything it literally gives me. But our ultimate goal is to find the current user with the help of UMI command, and then just submit that. Remember, if it didn't work for you in the store ID, you can try with the product ID too. Whenever you get any parameter, you can just hit it. And before who am I, you just need to type pipe 2, which is compulsory. So yeah, if the single pipe didn't work for you, increase the pipe to 2. If it still didn't work for you, increase the add also 2 pipes after and before of your command. And we're gonna learn about it later on, don't worry. So just copy it, and you can clearly see they just told me that congratulations, you have solved this lab. So this was the first lab in which we have learned how you can simply inject your operating system, inject your commands into the operating system to grab the data that you actually want. It is a very critical flaw because you are able to execute commands on the server, on the victim server, on the application server on which the application is running, on which the website is running. So yeah, it could be very dangerous. Okay, I'll see you in the next lab.